Oh baby, today on the channel we take a trip back to the 80s with NECA's ALF.
The spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
Welcome everyone, Kyle here, and welcome back to the channel for another NECA unboxing and review. And today on the channel we got something special. We got 80s pop culture icon, we've got ALF. But for all your ALF needs and a whole lot more, make sure you're hitting up Entertainment Earth. Use discount code Kyle. Save yourself 10% on all in-stock items, and of course, anything over $39 does ship free. Gotta get a deal. And I've been waiting for this ALF, which feels like an eternity. I think this was announced maybe a year ago, give or take. I remember it was supposed to be out in September, October of 2022. That did not happen for whatever reason, but here we are mid-January. We got ALF at the doorstep, so I'm very, very excited. Of course, being a child of the 80s, the land of the hairy bipedal creatures that I love so much, you had Chewbacca, you had the Ewoks, you had Harry and the Hendersons, and of course you did have ALF, and I absolutely loved ALF as a little kid. One of my favorite shows. Now looking back, maybe it wasn't as good as I remembered it to be, but the wisecracking alien with the heart of gold was here for me. I was all in on ALF, like I said. And it's one of those things that I'm glad after all these years to get a really good figure of ALF. And this is one of those one and done figures. You probably don't need the rest of the gang. You don't need a Willie Tanner figure probably, but an ALF figure fits a lot of collections. Mix him with your turtles, mix him with other hairy bipedal creatures, mix him with your wrestling, mix him by himself on your desk at work. I could see a lot of people picking up ALF, and ALF really swept the nation, you know, probably mid-80s, 86 or so, all the way up to like the 90s. He had TV movies, he was in TV commercials, he had an animated cartoon I remember watching as well. So if you're a kid around my age, you loved ALF, and who are we fooling? We all love ALF to this day, and like I said, everybody loves a hairy bipedal creature, and ALF fits that distinction. And I remember as a little kid just like, man, why do all these TV shows, they get all these aliens and stuff, like, I wish ALF would be in my yard. I could have ALF with me. I mean, I was one of those kids, oh man, if I could just have ALF, it would be the greatest thing ever. Instead, you just don't get that, and then when you're later in life, you get a dog named Lemmy, and he fits that bill for you in the ALF phase, and that's where you go from there. But of course, where are we going next? Well, we're going to do this review like we do all the other reviews on the channel. We're going to take a look at the packaging, we're going to talk about it, we're going to unbox it, we're going to talk about it, we're going to see where it goes from there. Fabulous packaging on this, definitely worth the wait. I'm definitely keeping this packaging. There's ALF right there. I love the picture frame. I love like the 80s graphics. It just looks like 80s. This just screams 80s. Just without ALF, it even screams 80s. It says right here, oh look, someone with taste. And I can hear ALF saying that to me right there. Just very, very cool. I love it there. It's got the mirror kind of image there. But ALF, very, very wisecracking, as we do know. A lot of quirks with old ALF. From Melnack or Melnack, I think it was Melnack. Yeah, not Mac, Knack. So Melnack, of course, he crash landed, couldn't get his ship fixed. You know, he missed home and all this stuff, had to live with the Tanners. We remember all that. We remember that. And then there was, what was it, Willie Tanner. I was going to call it Danny Tanner, getting my dad's and 80s sitcoms mixed up. And they had Brian the son, and Brian, even as a little kid, I wanted to punch in the face, and that's kind of goes back to, it's like, Brian doesn't deserve ALF. Kyle deserves ALF. Not this Brian kid. But he got him, and lucky for him, he got ALF. But beautiful right there. He got ALF with the shades on. Oh, man, how cool is that? I'm going to have to display him with the shades. And I'm going to have to display him with his Hawaiian shirt he's got going on here. And it says right here, spare some change for a reboot? Yes, I would. Let's bring ALF back. Let's give him a Netflix series, something like that. I'm all in. ALF, alien life form, and until I got this packaging for whatever reason, maybe I just forgot, I don't know, but I didn't realize ALF stood for alien life form, so that tells you all I remember. But there it is on the back, like, a lot of glamour shots, a lot of cool stuff. How about that cat and the sandwich? Of course, ALF loved to eat a good old cat every once in a while. You know, he had Jerry Seinfeld's mom as a neighbor. I'll never forget that either. A lot of good times with ALF and me as a kid, so this is really playing all the nostalgia strings right here. And we got a little bit of blurb for ALF. Let's see what it says. ALF crash landed through the roof of the Tanner family garage and square into the hearts and homes of American television viewers. This short, furry alien life form quickly surprised everyone with his perfect English, urban wit, and unusual customs and habits. It says, me shill for my own products, no problem. Includes fabric shirt, cat sandwich, soda can, sunglasses, ham radio, popcorn bowl, bag of slime balls, picture frame, interchangeable hands. Oh man, playing all the hits. Playing all the hits there is what they're doing. Of course, in true NECA fashion, You can open it up, get a little image there, you get the old window box. Absolutely, absolutely fabulous. Love the packaging on this. But let me take this offline. Let me get this all out of the package, and we'll be back talking all things ALF. All right, got my friend ALF out of the package here, and let's start this review off with the accessories as we usually do. And let's start it with some hands. Of course, his hands, not fists of fury. ALF isn't here to fight anybody. He's got the open hands. He's going to shake some hands. He's going to bring it in for a hug. That's what ALF's going to do. No fists with ALF. We do get gripping hands here, or one gripping hand. Very nice. You get a little come hither finger pointing hand with ALF, looking good. You get another finger pointing hand here. And then you get a big gripping hand, of course, for the soda can. And then you get another gripping hand. So a lot of gripping hands here, but no fists for ALF. If you want to have ALF in your UFC Fig Fed, you might struggle with that. He's going to be a submission guy, not a puncher is what he's going to be. But it is nice sculpting here. Of course, nice brown sculpt to the fur on here. No nails really, but a little different color at the end. But looking really nice. Almost looks like some really furry gloves that you'd have in the winter is what it looks like. But always nice to get different hands, different expressions, things like that we're used to. Choose your own hand adventure, as we always say. Then we get ALF's weed stash. Yes, his stash of weed right here. Slime balls. Now, for some reason, I don't remember slime balls, but apparently it must have been something he did in the show. But for the life of me, I cannot remember it. So it tells you, it's been a while since I watched an episode of ALF. I'm sure it's on one of like those Me TVs, antenna TVs. It's probably on something like that these days. But when you were a kid, you had to be in front of your TV on a Sunday at 6 o'clock, whatever it was. That's when you saw ALF. If you missed it, man, you missed it. Hopefully the old schoolyard could let you know. But you do get a nice bag here. I don't think it's marijuana. It is slime balls here, whatever that is. But we do get that. We do get some shades for ALF, looking cool, looking stylish. I mean, one of the cool things of ALF, you know, his Hawaiian shirt, his styling glasses. So I love that accessory there. Also love his Hawaiian style shirt. I don't know if it's officially Hawaiian, but it looks like a Hawaiian shirt. It works for ALF. And ALF, snazzy dresser. And really cool because, of course, he fits in like a young Winnie the Pooh. You know, he just wears the shirt, no pants. It's always an interesting look. But he can get away with it. He can get away with it. I'm also doing that right now. I have no pants on, but a Hawaiian shirt on. Believe it or not, there it is. We do get a picture frame, and I believe this is Rhonda, I believe, was ALF's girlfriend or second girlfriend, something like that. But Rhonda, I believe, was her name. You get the nice picture frame. Of course, he would lovingly look at it and things like that. He would do that all the time. Like a young Wolverine looking at Jean Grey back in the day in Cyclops. We do get a picture frame so you can really build out. Can we get an ALF accessory set, kind of like the Universal Monster accessory sets? We could build out the living room, have a couch, have a TV, have all that going on. You never know. You never know. You do get a Fuzco, which should be Pepsi. And wasn't ALF in Pepsi commercials? I'm fairly certain it was Pepsi commercials. But we do get a big pop can here for him. Or soda can, depending where you are from. We do get that. Once again, a lot of these accessories here, you can mix and match with other NECA properties, other things like that. That's the beauty of some of these things we get from NECA, so I do like that a whole lot. You do get ALF's ham radio here. Once again, this could fit in some stuff. You got his microphone, all that. He's trying to contact his family, really, at the end of the day. Rhonda, all those people. But you can also use this maybe with your G.I. Joe setup. You can use this with other things. You got the microphone, the setup, looking really, really nice. Love the receiver, love the buttons, the dials, everything on here. Just absolutely fantastic. A lot of uses out of this I think you could get if you really, really wanted to. So I do like that as an accessory. How about a popcorn bowl? Of course you can. You know, watching TV, watching movies, eating some popcorn. You can put this with your Ninja Turtles on the couch. You can do a lot of stuff with this. So this is definitely needed to a lot of figure photographers, toy photographers, things like that. But a beautiful bowl with popcorn, no mistaking what this is. Looks really, really good. Fabulous accessories with this pack so far. And then a really cool tongue-in-cheek one. You get a cat on a sandwich on a plate. Seinfeld's mom's always in there looking for her cats. She knows something's up. She knows something up, and she knows something's up with that Willie Tanner. And we know Willie Tanner later in life got into some trouble. And I don't know if he was a good call for that show. I think my dad would have been great as the dad in ALF. I think ALF and my dad could have had some witty banter. But who knows? Maybe we can get a reboot and I'll star as Willie Tanner. I'll be Willie Tanner. I'll do it all day. But looks really, really good, this cat here. Really only works for ALF for the most part, but man, is it ever fitting. Of course, ALF, an insatiable appetite for cats. Just loves that sweet, sweet cat meat. It's funny because now I'm thinking of eating cats. It brings me back to my days in the grocery stores. Oh, it's story time with Kyle. Some of you guys love it. Some of you guys hate it. I'll be fast. This guy, this Chinese clerk we had. I was in a grocery store and this a major grocery chain I worked for, and this was their first Chinese restaurant. Now a lot of these places have Chinese restaurants and grocery stores, things like that. This is the first one. This was Kyle's first taste of Chinese food, of course, as a kid. And the Chinese cook, you know, he came over from, I think he was from Vietnam. I can't remember, but that doesn't matter anyways. But anyways, he got in trouble. One day, I'm in the store, and I saw all this go down. There was a call of complaint to the food OSHA or whatever it was, the health inspector. And they came barging into the grocery store and all this kind of stuff, as apparently he had a bunch of cats he was cooking up in the Chinese area there. And now, I immediately thought, oh, this is old stereotypes, all stereotypical. It's some old farmer lady, she, you know, just hates Chinese people, whatever. But lo and behold, they go back in the freezers there, and what do they pull out? 4 cats. Yes, they do. They have 4 cats there. He was eating these cats, but he said he wasn't feeding them to the public. They were for him on break and stuff. He managed an apartment complex on the side, and he apparently killed some of these cats and took them in. Long story short, he did lose his job, as you could imagine, but I couldn't believe we had cats in the freezer, and he was actually cooking them up and eating them at lunch. I just was blown away by that. I'll never forget that story. I think I was about 15 years old when that happened. Another funny story on him, he really couldn't speak English, and he would get on the intercom, and sometimes Chinese get really busy, and he'd have to call for help, like, hey, send help to the Chinese department, or send help to, you know, the registers, like normal stores do. And he got on there, and he said, please send help, Chinese under attack. And that's what he said. I'll never forget. I was laughing forever. All the stories I could tell. But anyways, he was eating cats like a young Alf, and that's what I thought of, I'm sure, back then as well. But anyways, now we got Alf here, and man, Alf feels great in hand. We always talk about that, but he feels really good, feels really sturdy, but not fragile. You know, a lot of times we get some NECA figures, and they feel like you could just break them. They would just fall apart and crumble in your hand if you're a little rough. This feels like you could be a little bit rough with it, which is very unheard of for NECA figures. But man, Alf all day long. There is no mistaking who this is. This is Alf and then some. Looks really, really good. Even got that hair, that floof of hair that Alf has. They got that down pat. Looks identical to Alf. And start at the head here. Can't deny that's Alf. Like I said, the hair, the eyebrows, got the big black eyes going on. Kind of the snout going on with a little, like, almost like a cone shape. You got that. The nostrils on the end. The teeth look fabulous. You got his 4 teeth. Oh, yeah, you can move the mouth up and down. Of course, you got to move that mouth big if you're going to eat that cat sandwich. But very cool, of course. Definitely helps in the expression. I would have liked a little bit more mouth articulation, but I'm just happy there's a little bit of mouth articulation here. It definitely does look good. Got the big ears going on. Good head movement all the way around. Can spin everywhere else. Maybe some extra heads for Alf would have been a cool thing. I didn't think of that, but I think this gets the job done, really. It honestly does. You got kind of a nice collar of fur around the top as an added piece. Arms go all the way around. He's got a bicep cut. Double jointed elbows, and guess what? They're also pinless. They're playing all the hits with Alf here. Hands removable, back and forth, side to side. All the movement you need out of the hands. Man, this just feels really, really good, this figure. Like I said, sometimes NECA figures feel a little bit brittle from time to time. Feels sometimes more akin to a statue than a figure. Not this one. You got plenty of movement with this, and it feels very, very durable. And man, I love that. That's what I want all my figures to feel like. Got the hula hoop at the top. Nothing at the waist. He can do some big old Alf splits if he needs to, you know, try to hide from Seinfeld's mom. He could just jump over a fence or something. I don't know. Sounded good. He does got single jointed elbows. You got ankles, back and forth, side to side, up and down. A lot of movement out of those. He's got big, big, big feet there. Big Alf feet. It's weird. I guess I don't really think of Alf having this big of feet. If I'm not mistaken, there was times in the show where you would see his feet kind of running along the couch. They would just show kind of the bottom half. And for some reason, this is my memory. I could be wrong. I remember him having much smaller feet than this, and I could be wrong, and I probably am. But he's got some very, very big feet. These feet are huge on Alf, but it should help standing. I mean, he doesn't need a stand, but we'll do a stand check just in case. Does he fit on a ringside collectible stand? Make sure you get the Mattel stands. What do you know? Extra security with the stand if you need to. Go to ringside. Make sure you get the Mattel stand. Make sure you use discount code Kyle. Save yourself 10%. But he fits like a glove on there. Beautiful fur across the board. Got a nice brown with a dark black wash against it. I mean, it is Alf to a T. If you wanted Alf in a figure, it doesn't get better than this. It honestly doesn't. I am totally torn how I'm going to display Alf. Part of me wants old naked Alf. Part of me wants shirted Alf with sunglasses on. So I just don't even know. I might have to pick up 2 Alfs. I can't believe this is 2023 and Kyle's debating whether or not he needs 2 Alfs in his collection. But here we are. Here we are. Do I need Brian Tanner? Do I need Danny Tanner? There's Danny Tanner again. Willie Tanner getting my Full House and Alf. Very similar shows, as you guys know. But Willie and Brian Tanner, do I need figures of them? I don't know. Maybe I'll get some customs. Who knows? But man, oh man, is this Alf everything I hoped it would be. So this totally blew away. Totally met my expectations. Can't like this much more. It'll be interesting at the end of the year when we do the big rankings video. This will probably be in the miscellaneous category. The top 20 miscellaneous figures, gotta think he's gonna land in the top 20. It's just so iconic. It's really what you were looking for if you were a fan of Alf back in the day. Of course, got some other hairy bipedal creatures. Got Gizmo from Gremlins and NECA. You can see how those guys kind of square up to each other. Is that height about right? Maybe. You got Kyle right here. Of course, we got Cowboy Kyle. He can finally just hug Alf and pick up Alf and off to the road to adventures. You guys probably saw Mac and Me back in the day. It'd be kind of like Alf and Me, but I would play the role of whatever the kid's name was, and Alf will be Mac. That's what we'll do. We got that, so you can kind of square. So you can kind of scale him there next to a Jazzwares Mattel style figure. I think that does work pretty good if you want to, for whatever reason, put those guys together. Of course, Ninja Turtles. I can see Ninja Turtles and Alf all hanging together. They could watch on the old TV. Of course, we did get a TV with the Turtles. This would be perfect to pair with your Alf figures. You got a couch for Alf, stuff like that. There's your TV from NECA. Man, oh man. So a lot of good stuff here with this Alf. I really, really do like this. I think this is a must-have figure. If you like Alf, if this is your thing, you're not going to get much better than this for Alf figures in 2023. I don't think anybody else is making them. I don't think anybody else has the license. So it is a must-have. Hitting retailers right now, so get after it if this interests you in the least bit. But man, oh man, I'm blown away by this. Very excited to have this in my collection. Very cool. Just got to decide where I'm going to put this. And where are you going to put your Alf in your collection? You got a spot for him? Right now, I'm leaning on having him sitting on the couch in the Turtles lair with the Turtles. We'll see. That might happen too. He might move around depending on what's going on in my collection. But I'm interested to hear where you would display your Alf, whether or not you're going to pick up Alf, or if you're passed on Alf, never seen the show, and that could be some of you guys as well. We're fingers crossed to a reboot in 2023 for old Alf. Maybe it'll happen. Stranger things have happened, as we do know. But of course, don't forget to like this video. Hit the old thumbs up. It always helps the channel. Subscribe to this very YouTube channel, as we got videos every single day, and then some, as you guys know. For early access to videos like Alf and a ton of other videos on the channel, I think we got about 150 early videos over there right now, if you can believe that. But also you get Q&As, you get giveaways, a lot going on, and best of all, you do support the channel on the Patreon. Also, go support the channel at ProWrestlingTees.com, search Kyle Peterson. And don't forget about social media, SirPaul64 on Twitter, Instagram, _Kyle_Peterson. So for my boy Alf, I am Kyle, and I will see you guys all real soon.